Hi, my name is Alan Shrives. I was at Bath University and we started the club in the spring of 1982, and I was a member of SSAGO up until about 1987 because I was also the treasurer and a postgraduate after that. So what I found are some Inter-varsity pennants, this is the first Inter-varsity conference, which was produced in 1951. And then the Inter-varsity conferences produced pennants for the years after that. And then they started producing them for the rallies as well, for all the rallies. And I've just picked them up over the years on eBay and through collecting friends. I think some of them were professionally done, but some of them, like this one here, is clearly a silkscreen hand-printed one. And they go right up until the end of Inter-varsity and then into SSAGO. So we've got a few early SSAGO pennants as well. And the latest one that I've got is 1973, but I don't know if that's the last one. Maybe I'll find another one one day. So I keep collecting. I do still keep finding them, so it's all very exciting. Okay, well, we were presented with these plates by the Libyan scouts who were at the Witan. They were there by accident, I believe, rather than design, because they were going to come to a jamboree in the UK and they weren't allowed to come for political reasons. So they went to this. They just found this Witan in Italy. They didn't really know what it was either, I don't think. And they brought these commemorative plates and they presented them to each nationality that was there. And we got ours, and we drove all the way to Italy. So on the way back, we were thinking, what are we going to do with this plate? So we decided, why not make it into a SSAGO challenge? And so we wrote the rules on the way back, and then at the next rally, it was competed for. SSAGO, I think, was probably a bit more chaotic than it is nowadays because there was no internet, no mobile phones, so everything was done by post, and you didn't really know whether people had got the communications or not, so it was all a bit hit and miss. And so rallies were a bit chaotic as well, but good fun. So when I arrived at Bath University, we didn't have a university club, but we saw in Scouting magazine that it said about SSAGO, and I knew a couple of other people who were former scouts, so we decided to have a go at forming it. So we put an advert in the university newsletter, and we got about 25 people, so that was enough to form a club. So we actually formed a club. I mean, at that point, we hadn't even contacted SSAGO, so we just turned up in the spring. We just wrote to SSAGO and said, we're here. We exist. And that was a bit of a surprise for them, because normally people contact them beforehand before they organise a club. So we got a club together, and there was a lot of people who were scouts, and we also had quite a few guides, and we also got people from the local teacher training college as well, which was part of the Bath area student union but not part of the university. So we got quite a good collection of people, and we just did random things, went on hikes and just did crazy scouting things. That wasn't a big thing when we were there. There were some people who were helping at I think particularly guides at that time, but we did organise a couple of things for the local scouts. I remember we organised this raft race thing, which was a complete disaster because it flooded that year. I mean, we just couldn't hold it because the river had broken its banks, so that was a bit of a disaster.